Hi, my name's Kevin Chabot. I just wanted to share my testimony with Kangen water in hopes to get people learning more about it and so that you can experience this life-changing water as well. My wife and I both knew what Kangen water was because my wife's mom, my mother-in-law, had one at her home and one in her dental practice that she was running in Beverly Hills, California. We honestly didn't know what this water really was though. We thought it was just some special water filter, didn't really understand it. We knew that she was using it at home for health, cleaning, cooking, and in her medical practice for sterilizing, as well as use with her patients, but didn't know exactly how she was using it. We kind of thought she was off her rocker, but it turned out that we were completely wrong and closed-minded. Our ignorance led us to believe that our bottled water and filtered waters that we were buying from the store was absolutely the best for us. Long story short, my wife and I were actually very unhealthy. She was gaining weight, and I was too. I had high blood pressure, aches and pains throughout my body, PVCs, which are premature ventricular contractions of my heart, which is pretty much an irregular heartbeat. I had insomnia, anxiety, depression. I was a mess. I had contemplated my life many times and wanted something to change. I refused to take medications, and I wanted to heal my body naturally. Well, my wife and I made a very bold decision to move out of California. We decided to get up and go. We chose Oregon. So we moved to Oregon, and it was the best thing we've ever done. It was a great decision because just that move alone really opened our eyes, and don't know how or why, but it really allowed us to both look at ourselves and our health in a way we weren't able to see before. Perhaps it was the distractions of Los Angeles. We don't know. But now our eyes were wide open and we're ready for a serious change. Once we established permanent residency in Oregon on December 19th, 2012, we decided to pick our doctors and get regular checkups to monitor our health. I know this is supposed to be about my testimony, but my wife's testimony is just as incredible, if not more. My wife was at her heaviest, weighing 433 pounds and on 8 different medications for her blood clotting disorder, fatigue, pain, depression, etc. I had a lot of hidden health problems, but was so glad that the doctor found them when they did because they were very serious. After getting our physicals and blood tests done, my doctor contacted me and asked me to come into the office to talk. I didn't like the sound of that, and I began to worry what he wanted to tell me. When I got there, he explained my test results to me and told me that I have very high cholesterol, high blood pressure. The high blood pressure I actually knew about since I was 19 years old, though. Borderline diabetic, which was a shock to me. I had no idea. High triglycerides, high and abnormal liver enzymes. What are liver enzymes? And he explained to me it was a hepatic test. It was my liver. So he scheduled me an appointment to get an ultrasound to check my vital organs. He wanted to look at my liver mostly, but everything as well. Well, after doing the ultrasound, my doctor called me back into his office again to tell me some very devastating news. This news was devastating to me. He told me that I was diagnosed with hepatosplenomegaly. That kind of sounds weird, but they discovered that my liver and spleen were both enlarged. I was also diagnosed with something called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I also had scarring on my liver. Long story short, I went home and I was in complete despair. I was absolutely scared and did not know what to do. To me, this was almost like a death sentence was handed out. I even asked my doctor, "Can I fix this?" He said anything is possible, but it's unlikely. He said that if I was able to fix this, that it would take at least 8 to 10 years of a very strict, healthy lifestyle that was fixed around plant-based diets and a whole complete body transformation, pretty much a complete permanent life change. And he said that even though that may help, there's no promises. So he couldn't promise me anything would change. So I went home and had a long talk with my wife. My wife suggested that we should get on the phone with her mom, my mother-in-law, and ask her for advice. See what she thought about this. So we got on the phone with her, and while on the phone with her, and after we told her everything, one of her first responses was, "You guys need to be drinking Kangen water." And I was waiting for it. I thought she would say something like that, but no, that's what she said. And I couldn't believe my ears, but perhaps she was right. I wanted to find out what all the jazz about this water was anyways, and honestly, at this point, I had nothing to lose. Um, so my wife and I agreed to get a Kangen water ionizer to put to the test. In February 2015, we invested in the Kangen water ionizer. We both started drinking Kangen water, and right away I noticed that this water was actually the most delicious water we have ever tasted. It was light, crisp, and very fresh. But taste alone was not enough. I was thinking to myself, how is this actually going to help me with our health problems? So I did a bit of research about Kangen water and electrolyzed reduced water. I realized that millions of people all over the world were having very positive, life-changing experiences with this water. So I just started drinking as much Kangen water as I could possibly drink. I noticed that I could drink more Kangen water than I could ever drink before. It's the type of water this is. And before, other waters made me feel tired, sat in my stomach and kind of made me feel bloated, dehydrated. But Kangen water was the complete opposite. I actually felt hydrated. I noticed I was actually sleeping, which was a surprise, and I was no longer suffering from insomnia. I had more energy throughout the day, and within 3 months, my wife had lost a quick and safe 60 pounds, and the only change she made was changing her water. After 3 months of drinking the water, I had scheduled a follow-up ultrasound of my liver and spleen and follow-up blood work in the same day. So I was thinking 2 birds, 1 stone, right? When I received the results about a week and a half later, the doctor explained to me that my liver and spleen were still enlarged, but it appears to be shrinking a little. Nothing to really get excited about, he said. My scarring was still there, and then he shared my blood work with me, and he told me that my liver enzymes were still high, but decreased some. My triglycerides were within actually normal levels, which was great news to me. My blood sugar was lower, but still within a high range. My cholesterol was actually within normal range, but elevated. So I was thinking that perhaps there was some improvement, but nothing too significant. My doctor noticed the improvement in my blood chemistry and my ultrasound results. He said, whatever you're doing, continue to do it, and I want to see you in another 3 months for a follow-up. So I went home, told my wife that some things were changing according to my results. So I thought maybe Kangen water is really doing something, but I was still very skeptical. Obviously, we continued to drink water, drink the Kangen water, and go about our normal lives. 3 months later, I was headed out to do my follow-up blood work and ultrasound. Also, at that time, my wife lost even more weight, I noticed, but didn't know how much. She made it a habit to actually weigh herself every 3 months when I was actually getting my follow-up tests. She had lost another 60 pounds. So if you think about it, that's 120 pounds in 6 months. That's amazing. So just her weight loss alone made me a believer. So after that, I really started drinking the water like crazy. I mean crazy. My doctor got back to me and had some very interesting news to tell me, and I didn't know what to think about that, but when I talked to him, he told me that my fatty liver disease was gone and that my liver and spleen were back at its normal size. He seemed so confused and said that he had never seen anything like this before, so we thought that maybe the test results were false and that maybe the ultrasound technician or the radiologist that reads the and documents my my ultrasound results probably made a mistake, because sometimes that does happen, Anyways, so he referred me to go see a specialist, which was a gastroenterologist, to really do some special tests on my liver and spleen, including blood work. Also, my primary doctor got back to me about my follow-up blood test results and told me that my liver enzymes were normal, as well as all of my other blood tests were normal. So I'm thinking to myself, wow. So my lipid profile, my hepatic profile were all normal. I can't even begin to explain how I felt when I got that news. So I rushed home, I told my wife, and we celebrated, and I really felt good. I mean, a lot of anxiety and a lot of, weight was lifted off of my shoulder at that time, but I was hoping that it was, legit. I was hoping that maybe they didn't, hope that they didn't screw up. So I had scheduled an appointment to see my gastroenterologist for the first time, which was a consultation, but he knew my health history and what was going on with me. He explained to me that, my recent test results were indeed interesting, and that he would like to further investigate why and how I was healing if it was possibly a mistake from the ultrasound at all. So he ordered an MRI and an additional ultrasound to confirm whether or not I had actually healed or not. I took the MRI and the ultrasound the following week, and in November of 2015, my test results were back. My doctor and gastroenterologist both confirmed that somehow I had healed. They didn't want to admit it in front of me, but I could see in their eyes that they were completely stumped and lost for words. Then they told me, well, maybe you had a virus or something. But, they didn't have an explanation for any of this, or to why I healed so quickly or at all. They didn't know what to say, so they maybe suggested that I had a virus. But it's funny because all my other blood tests showed that I didn't have a virus at all. I didn't have an elevation in white blood cells or my white blood count, nothing like that. So I completely debunked that right away. So now I'm just going to jump ahead to the present date. I'm sharing my testimony today, December 22nd, 2016, and I continue to not have any of these health problems that I had before. My blood pressure is perfect. I check it all the time because I used to make it a habit to do it, even when I'm stressed out. But yeah, my blood pressure is perfect. My irregular heartbeat is gone, which were my PVCs. They're completely gone. It's unbelievable. I've actually lost 50 pounds. She lost a lot more, but I lost 50 pounds. I still want some, I still have some more weight to lose. But I mean, for me, that was just, after drinking the water, I lost 50 pounds. I have perfect cholesterol, and in fact, I actually lowered my LDL and raised my HDL, which the HDL is the good cholesterol, and my LDL was the cholesterol you kind of want to keep an eye on and keep low, or within normal range. And I don't have no enlarged organs or a fatty liver anymore. So I don't have all of my health problems really resolved, and I feel better than ever. I'm sleeping better than ever. My GERD is gone. I didn't mention GERD earlier, but I had it's a really advanced type of heartburn. It's the worst type of heartburn you can have. It was really bad. My wife actually had it really bad too, to where she would go to the hospital or the ER. She thought she was having a heart attack, but really it was the acid that was in her esophagus. When she saw her doctor, they said, you need to get this taken care of, maybe get on some medications because it can turn into esophageal cancer. So yeah, that's gone. My aches and pains are gone, and believe it or not, after just 22 months of drinking Kangen water, my wife has lost over 205 pounds to date and continues to lose weight. And I know in 2017, early 2017, she's actually going to reach her goal weight, which is a dream come true because we're both very excited about that. After all of these, amazing life-changing, experiences with this water and becoming so passionate about the health, I decided to do a lot of extensive research about how and why all of these changes happened. And I realized that the water never cured us of anything. I discovered that it was just that we were drinking the wrong kind of water. Kangen water was the missing component in our lives. Our bodies were designed to heal themselves. So when you put the right components in your body, it actually allows your body to be within balance, also known as homeostasis or homeostatic balance. And once your body is in balance, your body will then begin to repair itself naturally. And so that's exactly what happened. And so I just want to thank you for taking the time to listen to my testimony. And my name's Kevin Shabot.